Any jobs I can pick up?
This is dispatch. I got a job going right now.
I got
Normally I only talk about a couple of things per video, so this video is going to be a bit different where I'm just going to be talking about one thing. One thing is I talk about scary movies and horror films and stuff like that, but I want to talk about a list of my favorites.
Cool. Let's go.
I have a list sitting next to me. I just need to... One moment. Clock. Okay. So, this is a list of my favorite scary movies. Why are you talking? Shut up. It's in no particular order. And they're just really good scary movies that I think that I give 5 stars. And I'll link them all below. And so we'll start in no particular order, but in order. Yeah, this is just list format. So the first one is The Witch, which if you haven't seen The Witch, it's a scary movie that just embodies everything that I wanted in like a modern vampire movie, but it was about a witch, and it works so well. Every shot looks amazing. The act superb. Everything's great about this movie. Runtime's a little long. It's worth it though. I haven't seen a single person that watched this movie in my day-to-day life that didn't like this movie, you know? It's very scary. It's very disturbing. It's very cinematic. Cinematography of this movie is great. And I gave it 5 stars when I reviewed it. So it's really good. Has Anna Taylor-Joy, that girl from Split, is in it. She might have been in this first. I think so. But it's really well done. It looks like it could take place in the world of the Witcher novels, you know?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, what you got, dispatch?
Perfect timing. I got a customer for you right now.
I'm on it.
So The Witch, it came out in 2015
Looks like you're close.
to critical acclaim. I don't know if it won any awards. It probably won some awards, but no, I don't think it won any of the big awards because horror films are normally at those types of movies, at those top places, you know.
Taxi!
Get moving.
Cool. Let's go.
Sometimes he says. Second movie on the 2018 film called Hereditary. A series, but it's creepy, it's suspenseful, everything's taken super serious, which with a plot like this it's supposed to be. And like everyone gave it praise. It critically acclaimed horror film. Audience didn't like it, you know. A low audience score, but it's great. Every shot's perfect, and it has like one of the most disturbing, drawn out, frightening death scenes, so to speak, I've ever seen in any movie, ever. It's really great. Like, I didn't expect it. Little accident, supposedly. I tried to one, but it's just really, really good. The scene left me shake. And sometimes when friends come over, I'll just fast forward to that part and show it to them. And most of the time I hear oh, I have to see that movie now, you know? It's really good. I gave it 5 stars. So. And then there's The Vanishing from 1988. They had a remake with the guy from 24, Kiefer Sutherland. But nothing beats the original. Like, it involves a romantic couple. And they're full of love and they're happy. And then she jokes all the time, "Oh, I'm gonna leave you and you never know where I am." And I don't know if that's like an American type thing, but it's not an American film. So I just don't understand that part of it, of the joking. But the film's really well done. I'm gonna pull over here.
I'm open for a pickup.
Copy that. I've got someone for you.
Going the right way?
Take that one.
I am. No,
Location should be up on
and then one day at a gas station, she disappears. And the music's really frantic, really anxiety inducing. And everything works so well with that movie. The music, cinematography, the action, the plot, everything's great. And it's really how unnerving the opening is. Like, not the opening, just the first incident where she disappears. Just, oh, it gets me every time. I've never seen the remake, but I've heard it's not as good. And the majority of people who say the remake isn't good are people that saw the original. Everyone who hasn't seen the original and saw the remake, they probably think it's pretty good. That goes without saying, you know. But it's a really good movie. Really disturbing. Little horror film. It's disturbing in a certain way. It's not disturbing as in blood, gore, violence. It's disturbing in implied violence and implied horror. And honestly, you can probably watch it anywhere. It's a particularly violent film.
Bless you and thank you.
It involves a guy who's a committed sociopath, and there's this whole little training montage of him trying to learn how to kill. Right? And he talks about his life, about all the stuff he's done.
Anything going, dispatch?
Guys, cancel on me. So there's a job for you right now.
I got it.
And there's only one thing.
Roger that.
Me,
I'm sending you the location now.
he said to me, there's only one thing worse than murdering someone, which leaves room to think, what did he do to this girl if he didn't just murder her, you know? And then the hero of the film, I guess you can call him that, he's just as much a victim as his girlfriend who goes missing. And he's on this search, this epic country, you know, he goes through countries, he goes through a lot of time. He's trying to... So it's a missing persons movie. It could air in the middle of the day. And everything about the film that is disturbing is the vibe, the plot, the implied violence towards people. Everything's implied here. There's next to no real violence in this movie. And first of its kind that I can say that I liked more than a traditional horror film. You know, it's really good. If you get a chance, you should definitely watch it. But it just gives me the chills every time I see that movie. And the music, the melody is so melancholy and depressing and so anxiety inducing at parts that just the score itself is worth owning on CD. Like physically, you'd probably want to own it after watching this movie. It's really, really well done. And of course, I give it 5 stars. I don't think I've reviewed any of these movies, but there's this site I use called Letterboxd, and on it you can rate films, add them to the list and stuff, and these are all being pulled from my 5-star horror films list. The next one is, oh, Mother. Controversial little horror film. And it's not controversial for the reasons I think. Well, it is and it isn't.
Appreciate it. Bye.
It is and it isn't. And what I mean by that is that it has shocking stuff in it. It's from Dario Argento. I think that's how you say it. He's the guy who,
How's it looking out there, dispatch?
Yeah, calls just came in. It's up on your GPS now.
Oh yeah, I'll take that one.
he's the guy who did that Noah movie that got really controversial ratings.
You're not far away.
Like, he showed all the violence that most likely happened back in the times that Noah took place. And he did Requiem for a Dream. But I feel like this was his first real...
I need a taxi.
You'll get one.
I've got places to goddamn go.
But he did like Requiem for a Dream. This is his first real... Hey! First real horror film experience, I thought. Right? So, basically, it tells the story of Mother Nature and God, but it does it really, really subtly, or at least I thought it was subtle. Of course, it's very controversial in another way, right? This is it's one of his films that people didn't automatically love, and they typically liked a lot of his other works, and the majority of his fan base didn't like this movie. But I did. I thought it was really well done. It was really polished, very clean. The plot was very barren, filled to the brim with disturbing imagery and just horrifying things happening all the time. And for anybody who's had, for anybody that's had someone move in on them, right? Like, make you feel uncomfortable in places where you're supposed to feel comfortable, can relate to the struggle of, what's her name? Jennifer Lawrence's character, Mother. And then it just mounts, the tension mounts, the plot, it mounts, everything just starts rising and boiling over until you have this outrageous, violent, crazy ending that comes out of nowhere, smacks you right in the face, and it's amazing. I thought it was anyways. Oh, next is one that probably no one knows, or next to no one, unless you purposely look up disturbing Japanese horror films. You might not know this one.
Anything going, dispatch?
Copy that. I've got someone for you.
Yeah, I got that.
Where is it? I'm facing the right way. Yay!
Roger that. I'm sending you the location now.
Okay. But unless you look up, like, and are well versed on obscure Japanese horror films, you probably won't know this one, right? Like, I saw The Grudge, the original Japanese version, and it didn't scare me. I saw The Ring, the original version, and it didn't scare me. And I saw The Visitor, and it didn't scare me. It just kind of made me really sad and angry.
Look out my way.
Are you okay? Do not call the cops. That was an accident. Fuck, he called the cops. Head for the hills. But, no, like, I don't get scared by traditional Japanese horror films. They never got me before. And I gotta say, there's a first time for everything, and the first time for me was Noroi the Curse, which is our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, our 5th movie on this list. I'm just gonna park here. But it's really good. It's a found footage Japanese. Oh shit! It's a found footage Japanese horror film. That oh shit! He's looking right at me.
Who's free for pickup?
I'm on it.
Okay. But no.
Copy that. Should only be a block or two away.
And it's all about like slow boiling. Oh fuck. Oh, I knew it was gonna flip. It's a slow boiling Japanese found footage horror film. And I'm pretty sure it's Japanese. I think for certain, but the terror, it creeps up on you. Everything feels pretty visceral and real. And there's this overarching story that's taking place, right? It centers on one thing and then it becomes a whole different plot point. It's on this guy who does paranormal investigations. But then we end up traveling through time. Not literally, but like, oh, 5 years passed. That's what I meant, not time travel.
Taxi!
I'm coming.
Let's go, please.
And it's just really well done. The full thing's up on YouTube, so when I link that one, I'll be linking the full movie for you to watch. It's really, really good. It's creepy. It's got this subplot that's just outright disturbing. And again, a lot of the violence of this movie is implied or shown off screen. But that's what makes it so good, though, is that it's like, what am I going to see next? What's going to happen next? It's so scary. There's this moment in the middle of the woods where they're running from something that's chasing them. And they come across a field, right? This empty, barren field. And in this field is just the mutilated corpses of several dogs. Like maybe 17 dogs that were just, something killed them. What was it? We don't know. And you got that found footage vibe to it, you know? So it's really, next one on the list is, oh, The Autopsy of Jane Doe. Like, if you don't know what that movie is, you should. I don't want to spoil a lot, but I'm going to spoil a little bit. Is that 2 coroners find a body that isn't a normal body. Yeah, and I'll leave it at that. That should be enough to get you interested, you know. And like I said, I'll link the trailer down below. And the next one on the list is, oh snap, next one on the list is We Need to Talk About Kevin. It's a really, really well made, disturbing movie about a mother and son's relationship. There's something wrong with this kid named Kevin, but he hides it from everyone except his mother. So she's all the time saying stuff like,
Thanks for the free ride.
what an idiot.
Hey, look out for fools like me.
Where's the money? That's what you get. Oh, what? Two stars. Jeez. But no, it's called We Need to Talk About Kevin, and it's about a disturbed child. The end of the movie has a climax that, like, I've never seen a climax like that before. It's really, really fun. It's shot really well, and it does a good job of not blowing its horror load all at once. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very scary, but it's scary in a way that makes you, that's interesting, you know? It's not scary in the way that it's not Taxi gonna get stuck. Get up this fucking hill. But scary in the way that makes you interested. You want to see where this is going, you know? And by the time the ending arrives, you're kind of shocked, or at least I was.
Sure, I can take that.
Thanks, Travis. Location should be up on your GPS.
What's wrong with this door? Oh. But no, it's got a really shocking ending, and the build-up is just expertly done. It's just out of nowhere, not really nowhere. You can kind of guess where it's going, you know. Not that you'd have to go there. So, I gave it 5 stars. I thought it was really, really, really good. One of these days I'll sit down and watch it again. The majority of the time though, when I see a really, really good scary movie and I give it 5 stars, I don't watch it again. Like ever. It's really rare for me to do that. The next one is Zodiac from 2007. That's that Jake Gyllenhaal movie where he I think he's a detective, or maybe he works for the newspaper, but it's a really well made film covering the serial killer known as the Zodiac Killer. You know, the guy that was never caught. This movie covers that really well. It's got some great actors in it, like Jake Gyllenhaal's in there. And he's one of my favorites. I end up loving every movie he's in, except for maybe the Prince of Persia movie. I didn't like that one all that much, but I like all his other movies that I've seen. And it covers the serial killer, the life of the serial killer, but it covers the life of the detectives and the newspaper people that are covering the story of the serial killer. So you don't get an in-depth look at who this killer is, but and I consider it to be one of the better horror films just because of how...
Cocksucker.
Oh, you bitch. Hang on, I'm gonna teach you a lesson. Yeah, that's my tip.
I'm open for a pickup.
Guys, you canceled on me, so there's a job for you right now.
You can get that one to me.
But the reason it's on this list, sorry, tugging on the mic, is because of just how violent some of the kills are. Like, after seeing some of the kills done on camera, it's completely shocking, you know? I was shook. Not afraid to admit it either. It's really, really, oh shit, it's really, really good. I gave it 5 stars.
Let's get this chariot in motion.
Huh. Casey's Diner kind of looks like where Chloe Price's mom works in Life is Strange. Let's see. Next up is March 2008. Now, oh man, this movie is deeply unsettling and very violent, very gory, and very, 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 as I previously stated, deeply disturbing. It involves a cult that believe when you torture primarily women, they say it only works on women. When you torture women to a certain point, that that you can see heaven or God in their eyes, something like that. So it's a cult full of people, some of them rich, some of them wealthy, that torture women. Sounds simplistic enough, but the movie doesn't spit that all out at once. The movie instead gives you little trinkles of information until you put the whole picture together at the end of the movie. And getting it given to you that way, instead of just saying it, makes it all the more disturbing. You know? Like, having it sparsed out like that makes it worse, you know, to hear, or rather to see, because we meet with our two heroines, right, early on, and they end up seeing some of this shit happen, right, and you think, oh, you're welcome. And you end up thinking like, oh, it's a bad thing, but it's not the end of the world, you know. They met up with some creepy people that like to hurt people. You know, that happens all the time. But then the full reach of the cult and everything else comes out slowly. So slowly. That it's just, it's one of the most disturbing movies I've ever seen.
I got it.
Alright, next up is Super Dark Times from 2017. Oh, this guy's close.
I need a taxi. I've got places to goddamn go.
I'll get you there. Is Super Dark Times. So this one involves... I try not to spoil it. It involves a set of friends that have a falling out in the most gory and disturbing of ways, right? So, an accident happens when some friends are playing together. They're high schoolers. They've just smoked weed for the first time, and they're playing with a sword when something goes wrong, and it leaves the friends in chaos. Right? And then the film follows the deterioration of a friendship over something awful. The trailer will reveal more, but it's worthy of the 5-star status I gave it. Ooh, next up is Evil Dead 2013, the Evil Dead remake. Which, is... I've already talked about this. I love it when a remake happens and the remake goes a different direction
Any jobs I can pick up?
than the original. And that's what Evil Dead does. The 2013 remake. It replaces the comedy of the original with incredibly well shot scenes of disturbing violence.
I need a taxi. I've got places to goddamn go.
But yeah, that's what that is. That's a really good one. Alright, and the next one on the list is Oh, Return of the Living Dead, 1985. Return of the Living Dead is a horror comedy that I think excels a little bit above other horror comedies, right? Like, it's just really sloppy, goofy horror fun. There's gore that's pretty well done, and the comedic timing of everything's just great. It's really funny. It's a really funny, dumb, scary horror film that I like a lot. So personally, I give this one 5 stars. He's not going there. Next one on the list is As Above, So Below from 2014. As Above, So Below is a found footage horror film that does things a bit differently, right? It starts with 4 filmmakers going down into the caverns under Paris that are lined with dead bodies. They decide to take a different turn than what the instructor says to do, and they wind up lost. And the rest of the movie is about them just being lost. And it's pretty heavily implied, and anyone that watches the film can guess that they made a wrong turn and they popped out. They popped out in hell. Yeah, so it's 4 filmmakers going to hell. Pretty good. And the next one is The Conjuring 2, 2016. I love the first Conjuring movie, but I like the second one a little bit better. I believe the second one brought something the first one didn't have, which is a good sense of humor. I mean, for crying out, it made me...
Thanks.
It gave a good sense of humor, you know?
I'm open for a pickup.
Guys, you canceled on me, so there's a job near you right now.
I'm on it.
Perfect. They're right around the corner from you.
Well, they're far away. So obviously, according to the time, I want to cover all. That was my favorite list, so this might be a 2-parter. But anyways, As Above, So Below, filmmakers go to hell. That's everything I wanted it to be, you know? Pretty disturbing, heart-wrenching stuff. So it's good. The next movie on the list is... Oh crap, I was talking about The Conjuring 2. Sorry. And the next movie on the list, The Conjuring 2, which I love because it brought a much needed sense of humor to the movie, to the series, right? Because Conjuring 1 was great, Conjuring 2 umps Annie on everything. But it's really funny too. Like, I call it Ghostbusters, the real remake, you know? It's just really good. I'll link the trailer down below. And next up, below that, is Don't Breathe 2016. So it's from Fede Alvarez, the guy who made Evil Dead 2013 remake. Pumps out another good one. This one involves band of misfits. Yeah. Teenagers. I think they're teenagers anyways. They do robberies. One kid, his father is a police chief, so he can always draw him away from use the wrong house, the house of a blind guy who is ultra prepared for people to break in on him. Things go really violent. There's this extended chase with a Rottweiler and a young girl.
Taxi!
Jane Levy. She's the same one who played Ash in the Evil Dead remake. And it's just a really good movie from David Alvarez. He's someone I'm definitely going to be keeping my eye on in the future. Let me check the time. So, I go over one movie, maybe two. And High Tension. Yeah, High Tension. It's I'm not sure, I'm thinking maybe Spanish movie that got probably one of the most shocking and violent kill scenes, not death scenes, but murder scenes from any scene. It was a rolling dresser, a staircase, a set of staircase, and a human head. Put it together by yourself. I'll link the trailer. And it's not just good because it's just super violent, it's also got a good plot to it. There's a twist ending that I spoiled it by saying there's a twist ending, but you'll never see it anyways. Stars. Sinister from 2012. Yeah, this one's a little bit more amazing than what's been on this list. But I mean, it's not shocking at all. It's probably one of the things. I love this movie. It's all about a ghost with a dumb name, cause ain't it always? Bagul. and it kills people. But it's more than that. Usually kills entire families.
Well done. Thanks.
You're welcome.
How's it looking out there, dispatch?
Yeah. Call came
Alright.
in.
That's the last one I can do.
Sure, I can take that.
Oh, plus one. Yes, right. I can talk about plus one as the last movie this time, and then tomorrow will be part two. So, plus one. Hop in. Plus one. It's a really trippy science fiction horror film, right? Has elements of both in it, so it's hard to classify as one or the other. I think it's a subgenre of horror fantasy. I mean, it existed for the longest time. This movie's not breaking any new ground in the genre regard. That guy got mad. But it centers around three friends, right? And seniors in high school, and they're gonna go to a party. Wild party. And so two of everyone now. Not in the way in which everyone would know it. Alright, so there's two of everybody. But like I said, there's two of everybody, but not everybody does it, right? Because the doppelgangers are
Anybody out there good for pickup?
separated by time, right? So at this point, everybody in the party has moved outside the party, right? So now there's two groups of the same people. One inside 30 minutes ago, they existed there 30 minutes ago, and now they exist there once more. And the big group of people that exist outside the party. It's very complicated. But Jesus. Yeah, so There's two everybody of people. One partying outside and one partying inside. People that are partying outside used to be inside before the electricity went off. Me idea. Shut the fuck up. God. But no, they were partying inside, electricity went out, they decided to go party outside. Then electricity hits the house, and now everyone that was outside is back inside again. But they're also still outside. I don't know the trailer of me, unless you watch the movie. So there's two, and they're formed into groups. And then, half hour passes, and electricity starts down again, making the lights off again. So they decide, hey, let's go outside, where they already are. And things go predictably very violent. Fix this taxi.
What can the best mechanic in LS do for you?
This.
Better than new.
It's brand new.
I need a driver for pickup right away.
Okay. Drop it off down here. But no, it's a really, really good movie. It's called Plus One. And as I said below, I'll link trailers to all these below. And in the case of Noroi the Curse, I'll link the entire movie below. So you can just watch the whole movie on YouTube. But yeah, things go particularly very violent. But there's an interesting aspect there. The three friends, they know what's up. Because, as I said, I didn't say it, but as I had to say, they're all outcasts. So they're going to the party to hopefully to, you know, meet up with someone nice or get a cool date or just have fun. They're not part of this group. You know? The group is not part of animals. Aren't. So they go there and they're outside. So when the group moves outside, they get left behind because they're not part of the group, you know? It's not too bad. So they see the group go outside, and then they see the group outside, and then they go back inside because that's where they're gonna stay. They're lit up, belong with the group. And once inside, they see that all the group's there once again, you know. So they're like, oh, the group's back inside for some reason. Then they look up, oh, the group's also outside. They then are with each other, the three friends. Not sure of who's who, you know? Oh look, it's full now. Alright. 1 and 2. So, turn that off. I called the cops on me. Anyways.
Just what I need. Holy.
So, they meet each other. Oh, nailed it. And, again, they're not sure who or who's the clone. Boop. And, yeah, so this one. That's the one we're ending on today. Gonna get home and save. Let's go save. Come back and do the cool slide. Save. Yeah. I'll go save. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.